So here we are back with the U.S. having the only cards left. Now one, I was planning on using the Nicholas Trist card in order to use its 3 ops points to spread control over 3 areas. That's no longer an option. I still have the 3 points, but I can't use them that way anymore, which is kind of painful, and there'd be nowhere else to do it. So there's something kind of a little disturbing about that. I am going to use the Settlers card here, which allows me to draw 2 U.S. units and put them in the disputed zone. Hey, might as well. I like troops. Let's see what we got. And we got some cannons there, okay. Interesting enough. What do I do with this, though? I don't know. I could send Taylor forward and fight another battle. How much value I see in that. I also am not absolutely certain I see much value in grabbing 2 spaces. Any other options? Well, of course, I could play the Trist card and try to roll a war. Is there a war declaration? I don't know. I don't know if there is an easy way to do that. War. Rolling on the war declaration table. Let's see. I'd be rolling here. I've got a 0 bellicosity. U.S. units were eliminated in battle. That's +1. Mexican units in Texas. Yes, that's +2. Turn modifier. That's +0. So I'd have a +2 on that. I'd be able to lay 1 control marker down. I think that's pretty cool. The problem is this is a remove from play card. And it's a valuable card, but it's not particularly valuable to the U.S. Draw a card randomly and discard it from the Mexican hand. That's kind of neat, but I think I'm going to do this and use the card for its event. So, yes, there's not much of a chance of a war here. I've got +2. I need to roll at least an 8 for any effect. No, that's not worth it. I'll just spend it for the points, and I'm only allowed to do one thing. Rather than take replacements, I'll grab the 2 control markers, I suppose. It doesn't seem that terrible an option. Well, I've just finished my action. Now, I could have held that card to increase its chances of being used, but let's go on and see if I can find the sequence of play somewhere in this pile. Alright. Isolated control markers. There aren't any. The U.S. control markers are able to trace their way back, so they're good. Mexican determines if the Mexican government collapses. Look up another rule, 18.2. I think there's a table for this, which will tell me fairly easily. Mexican government collapse, each state in revolt, that's 1. That's all I got is 1. I'm going to need a 10 total, so I need to roll a 9 to cause the government to go unstable. It does not. Alright. Find the sequence of play again. U.S. is not as war. The U.S. rolls on the declaration of war table. Again, we needed a high roll. I don't remember what. I'm going to have to look at the table again. 7, that's high enough that I think we might be there. I think there's a +2 on the table. Current bellicosity, no. U.S. units eliminated and the disputed zone +2. That puts me to 9. No effect. Alright. Active revolt spreading. Well, we got an active revolt. Now, this is 18.4. Let's see what we got here. And, you know, there's just so many little rules that I think early in play, you're going to have to be looking everything up. Later in play, if you're me, you're going to stop looking things up. You'll figure you know them all, and you'll forget 2 or 3 big ones throughout the game. Maybe just forget something for a long time, turn after turn after turn. All right. That's how I am with these kind of series. It's painful when the rules have this many little steps. Luckily, there is a nice sequence of play that spells everything out. That might help. So the spread. Roll an 8 or 9. Okay, so the Mexican player goes first. Where does he want this to spread? Well, he doesn't. But if he had to have it spread, he's not sure where. I guess I'll do it here because I can react there the better. Okay, so it's an 8 or 9 for a spread. It does not spread. That's cool. And now change PW for raids, state control, and revolts. This is 18.5. Okay, raids. Well, raids actually evens out. These two cancel each other out. They each got 1 raid. But the other side of it, let's see. State control, revolts, and PW. Total the number of states under revolt or U.S. control and have it. The state is both in revolt and under U.S. control, count it once. Okay, so this is a particularly poor wording, right? Count them and have them. But if the state's under both, count it once. Count it once before I have it, or count it once instead of having it, huh? I don't know. I think they mean count it once before having, because it doesn't make sense. A revolt and U.S. control. U.S. control is just as bad as anything. Okay. Round the having down if the government is not collapsed. Round it up if it has. Okay, so what do we have? We have 1 state in revolt, and that's it. Halved, that's 0, and we're fine. There's no victory. The game ends. No, the game does not end yet. All right, I think we're done with the turn. The action card deck gets reshuffled. The event and strategy card deck does not, and we'll be moving to turn 2 here, where the U.S. is allowed to declare war early in the game for a huge pile. There's going to be more cards. War becomes more likely. And standard events, but there's nothing listed. I wonder what that means. I wonder why it's not listed here when the setup actually says, oh wait, standard events. U.S. standard reinforcements. Oh, I don't know what these are. Right. Okay, well, I'll have to look them up because I'm completely unaware of them. The rulebook has not managed to convey that there were regular reinforcements and stuff coming in. All right, well, we'll cover that in the next turn.